We manage hundreds of species, and we manage the entire Gulf of Mexico, Texas through Florida, and then on the East Coast up to the North Carolina, Virginia line, and then also Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So it's one of the larger regions area-wise in the country. Well, it's been a remarkable recovery. We overfished red snapper back in the late 60s and early 70s and fished it down to very low levels. And it remained at those low levels for 20 plus years, but we revised the rebuilding plan in around 2005, 2006. And since then, we've seen a huge resurgence in the population, and the population levels are probably back to where they haven't been since the mid-late 1960s. So probably in better shape than it's been in 40, 50 years. First off, it's a very well-functioning program in terms of it's profitable and it produces fish year-round, and the fishermen are getting more on a per-pound basis for the fish than they've had in the past. It does pose challenges for new entrants in that you have to acquire shares, and they're expensive now. And so that's been a problem. Some small fishermen, small-scale operators have had issues with it. There have been concerns about the degree of consolidation in the fishery. And then I think some people are troubled by the property rights aspects of it, in that when you own shares, those shares have monetary value, and you can sell them, you can lease them. Some guys use them as collateral for loans, those types of things. And that is discomforting to some people. Basically, an artificial reef is any sort of structure that wouldn't naturally occur in the Gulf of Mexico. So if you think about an oil platform in the Western Gulf, those are effectively a type of artificial habitat or artificial reefs. Most oil platforms now, because many of them are non-functional and have been decommissioned, numbers of oil platforms in the Gulf of Mexico is going down. But in parts of the Gulf, there are active reef building programs where structures, usually made out of concrete and specifically designed to attract fish, are being deployed. Most notably, Alabama probably has the largest program in the Gulf of Mexico, but Florida and the other states do as well. And one thing they do is they aggregate fish, like red snapper. They cover up artificial reefs, and that makes them a lot easier to catch by recreational fishermen. They may also increase the overall productivity of the stock, but it seems most likely that the productivity increases are not sufficient to offset the elevated catch rates.